Hello, good morning. I probably, what am I? Am I on time? Am I on time? Well, let's just let's just get right to it, right? Right now, I'm actually working on the Google form that I'm going to use as the means of collecting information for those who like to register for September classes, right? Um, so I'm in the middle of doing that. So I am genuinely honoring my commitments, even though it's really tough to do. So yeah, holding myself accountable, right? As all of us should do. There's something else that I should shun, but I think the memory will start flooding back as soon as I get this sphere or this proverbial ball rolling, right? I did, sorry. I did something yesterday that I'm particularly proud of. A friend of mine, he and I have been talking about mixed martial arts for many, many years. Like every single time on Facebook without fail, he and I would just go back and forth about techniques, the decorated strikers, the decorated grapplers, all of these things. So it was really fun to have a discussion with him yesterday about some of the competitions that happened on August 16 and 17. It was CJI. Now, all of this is Bossman Champloo talk, right? Now, the reason for me coming up or bringing it up in the discussion is that, he made good on his promise. He made good on honoring his commitment. So I want to big him up for that because he told me tentatively August 18, and on August 18, he actually showed up. I mean, and he wasn't even late. That's the other thing. you know, it was good. It was a good discussion, right? So um I know that has nothing to do with um what I'm about to talk about. But funny story, he's actually um he's actually someone that I also partner with in terms of playing chess as well as teaching mathematics and physics, right? I mean, I will double check to see, you know, in terms of his willingness and readiness to teach additional mathematics, right? That would be helpful, especially for we're still a learn, right? So yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've had a few discussions over the weekend that have it has, I suppose, when an opportunity presents itself, you still have to, lean in on the things that you're already doing, regardless of, okay, you could hear that there's a job opportunity here, a job opportunity here. Sometimes you still need to work on what you're doing. Um, you know, I wish I could just turn on my camera right now, but because I am committing to doing the faceless first, and you know what? Here's an idea. Here's an idea. I have an idea. And I think, all right, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. For right now, I'm gonna stick to doing Facebook live streams. However, I could um I could step it up by giving you options. So for example, I could do the first live on Facebook and then the second live I do on YouTube. And then I could make that very YouTube live available on the Facebook page, right? I can do that. I mean, there's nothing barring me from doing that, you know. Same branding, same name. It's not like I love how much I've evolved. I really do because there's a time when my branding was all over the place. I used to be called first person tutor. Even as a rapper, I used to be called mesmerized, this and that, and whatever. And I'm looking at everything, and I'm realizing how much I have decided on saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to confuse myself or anybody else. So from now on, the prefix is Bossman, right? That's why I have out of many one Bossman. And you know, if there's anything that let's say nothing else goes viral. Let us say I fail at everything. Yeah. Let's say I fail at Bossman Champloo, which I won't. Bossman Cinema, which I won't. Yeah, but let's just say I fail at these things. And let's say I fail at Bossman Digital Media. Again, which I won't. Out of many one Bossman allows me to have fun while entertaining. So I'm entertaining the crowd. I'm entertaining myself. I'm holding myself accountable. And at the same time, I'm giving myself reminders. So I will make a video on something that Bossman Teaching needs to do. And then if I do that on Out of Many One Bossman, I have to come here and say, hey guys, I edited the Google form. Hey guys, the Google form is ready for Bossman Teaching and we still learn. Hey guys, I did a video for we still learn, right? So I'm really doing my best to, you know, stay on the path, stay in that lane. Because guess what? The beauty about life is that we're in a global village. So even if I am overseas, by example, I mean, the pandemic taught us that we can work with people in different time zones. So if, by example, I end up in either the Cayman Islands or the UAE, or if I end up in either Canada or in in the United Kingdom, or let's say even, you know, as unlikely as it would sound, Switzerland, you know, you can still, you know, work out that time zone difference, make an arrangement based on that, and still honor your commitments, you know. Traveling shouldn't stop you from honoring your commitments, you know. So I'm throwing that out there because it's like I have to remind myself of that, you know, because one thing with me, I will pop open my tablet or whatever device I'm using, you know, and let's say I'm on the plane and people say, hey, sir, we still having class. I'm like, well, I mean, it's kind of quiet on the plane right now, but I suppose I could do it. You know, yeah. That I and I feel like there are some topics of discussion that I want to have on Bossman Digital Media because the way in which technology has developed, I mean, I feel I personally feel blessed to witness where we're coming from to where we are. Because when I look at 1990, 2000, 2010, 2020, I mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about each decade something happening. That's more significant than what happened before, you know? And you have to sort of give credit to like companies like, you know, like let's say Nokia, let's say Huawei, let's say Ericsson when it was around, you know, um, companies like even Nintendo. You know, the idea that you could have something handheld that you could utilize and like something you normally do at home and you can be on the road with it. I mean, I would say that happened even before we got a hold of cell phones, right? That was the first thing that gave us the possibility of or even communicated to us about what portability could be. And you know, to go from not being able to see anything on your phone screen that resembles a human face, you know, that just wasn't possible at a certain time. And to go from that to having the networks as we do that allow us to connect wirelessly and have with nearly no delay, the presentation of someone else in real time. That's special. That's special. I mean, if I'm grateful for nothing else in life, I'm grateful that I have witnessed these stages of evolution in tech. I really appreciate that. I don't want to take that for granted because this very, platform that I'm using to talk to everybody, there's a time when I was literally illiterate. Like you could have called me illiterate to Zoom. I was Zoom illiterate. And you know what's funny? Let me give you another joke now. It is possible that I could start streaming on Twitch as well. And I tell you, even though Twitch is known for gaming and gamers, rumor has it that there are educators on Twitch. And I promise you that's and you know what? I don't think that's a bad idea. Because let's say I am going through how to play chess. If we're gonna stream anywhere about playing chess, you might as well do it on Twitch. So that's an idea. And that's what I like. The fact that like if for instance, if I click on the more button which has three dots and I, put my mouse over on live stream, well, oh right, I forgot. So it's gonna give you four options. It's gonna tell you live on Facebook, live on Workplace, live on YouTube, and live on Twitch. Right? Those are the four options you get. Now, when you're streaming, you're gonna see stop live stream, which I'm not gonna do. So you don't want to do that. Well, and it's really funny because what I'm talking about now is very Bossman digital media related, you know. So I suppose I'm just giving myself reminders, right? Just giving myself a reminder. So let's get back to school, right? I mean, I mention it because again, where would I be without learning how to use a Google form? And funny enough, like when you look at every Google form, it reminds you of PHP in terms of I'm trying, okay, hold on. I'm actually going to Google that, right? Let me see something. I just want to, right, right, right. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I just wanted to get a look at that. So yeah, it reminds me of how you would use PHP to code each um I'm trying I want to there's a term for it. There are fields, right? You're creating fields, and each field gives you a different form of input access. Again, I'm still going off in digital media territory right now. Well, yeah, just looking at how Google Forms are designed. Google Forms are basically a way to allow somebody that doesn't know anything about coding to feel like they know how to code a form. And I think it's the same thing that Google did with Google Sites. It's like, okay, you want to learn how to build a website for yourself without necessarily doing the coding? Here you go. We give you the template. You just organize it, you put it together yourself, and there you go. It's done. So, and I mean, God, if I were to talk about how Google was in the beginning compared to what Google is now, it's a different beast. So I suppose all of this is a note to self, right? A note to self. So here we are. Mondays and Fridays. Mondays and Fridays. 8 to 9 and 10 to 11. I'll be doing a faceless live stream in the morning, or rather in the first session. So first session is a faceless, and in the second one, I will be on camera, right? Now, we could always switch from that to doing the first live stream would be on Facebook, the second one would be on YouTube. And I don't know, it's an idea. It's an idea. I mean, I could start that today. I could. There's no reason why I can't. There's no reason why I shouldn't. You know, I could do that. Today is what? The 19th? So we have the next live stream date is going to be 20, 21, 22. Those are the teaching days. And 23, right. Okay. So August 19, August 23, August 26, August 30. Right? So these are going to be the days that I do a live stream. The first one faceless, second one on camera, or first one Facebook, second one YouTube. So yeah, that's a nice little consideration. Because after all, why share all the fun with just one audience? I'm pretty sure other people want to see, and mind you, you know, there's a user friendliness to a YouTube link, right? There's a little bit of a user friendliness to it. It's easy to copy, easy to share. Not that Facebook isn't, but here's the difference. I feel like when you're not logged into Facebook, it's a lot more difficult to access, the same video that you would have if you were already logged in. So there's almost like a requirement. There's like a barrier there. Like if you're not logged in, you can't view, right? So that's a disadvantage. That is a disadvantage. And then there are some people, I mean, and that's the thing. You have to be mindful of your audience. You have to be mindful that not everybody gonna be on Facebook. Not everybody gonna be on YouTube. Not everybody gonna be on Insta. So you try to make yourself available everywhere so that if you're not on Facebook, I'll meet you on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, I'll meet you on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, I'll meet you on TikTok. And if you're not there, who knows, maybe Twitch. You know. So yeah, all of this is just to remind myself that like don't deny yourself any possibility. Do not deny yourself any possibility. If the possibility exists, why not? Why not? So yeah, I'm thinking that I might give that a test run today. I might give it a test run. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to, yeah, sorry about that. I'm gonna give myself other reminders. So I believe that everybody is aware of the routine of Mondays and Fridays. I've made enough videos about it, and at the risk of sounding redundant, I will, you know, play the videos that give you all of those pieces of information. In fact, I have an idea, and this is something that you might want to practice. Create a folder that gives you a cue, right? So let's say you have a folder that says MF or M and F, which means Monday and Friday. And then another one that says TTHU, which is basically Tuesday to Thursday. This way, all the videos that are supposed to give you an indication of what's supposed to happen Tuesday to Thursday. All of those videos go in there. And then the other folder is strictly the Monday and Friday. This way you compartmentalize. This way you don't get confused. You know, sometimes you have to. That's why people put labels on a lot of things. You know, you have a little sticker, you write a label on it, you slap it on a container and say, look, do not drink this. Okay, this is dishwashing liquid. Okay, yeah, you can bathe with it, but don't drink it. You know, so you know, and I didn't want to talk about that, but it's a wicked thing when you have like let's say you have like a Coca-Cola bottle or something like that, and you see something there that looks eerily like Coca-Cola. You have to smell that first because you don't know. You need to be mindful who you're living with, man. Because if them evil, they put that in the fridge and say, yeah, man, you can have it. I'm sorry. Oh no. But yeah, no, that's why labels are important. So what you do in real life in terms of the physical world, you also do it in a digital sense, right? So when you name a folder, the name has to have some significance and some kind of meaning. So that way, okay, if I know I'm going to give you an announcement about Mondays and Fridays, I put it in the Monday and Friday folder. And then likewise, I go over to the Tuesday to Thursday folder for that. And then there's a Saturday and Sunday folder. So, you know, that way everything is accounted for. And you don't you don't end up being confused and mixed up. So yeah. Um, I'm glad that I do the first video sort of off camera because on every day you got feel alert, you know, or prepared to get up and put on a lot of, you know, the dress up. Because one thing with me, you know, I one thing with me, I take my online appearance serious enough that, you know, if I wake up in the morning and I'm going to be on the camera, if I'm going to be in front of you and you're going to be looking at me, yeah, I'm going to want a long sleeve shirt, my tie, my bucket hat, and to be fair, I can either have on jeans or possible sweatpants. But yeah, I'm not going in my boxers, definitely not. Right? Like accidents happen, and you know, I know. Yo, listen, that's inappropriate. I don't even go there. Yo, trust me, that accident you don't want. Yeah, that's why practice makes perfect, you know. So this is my warm-up live. Yeah. This is the live that I do to keep myself awake, you know, keep myself alert so that way it's like, okay, if I wasn't ready for the day, this will get me ready for it. Right. So I do the warm-up, this is the pep talk. This is me giving myself a pep talk. And then of course, if I see anybody, mind you, I like to log in with my phone, right? I like to log in with my phone. Oh, and another thing that I've done too, I put it on my Google Calendar that my live stream starts at a certain time, and I will get the alarm on my phone telling me, "Hey, you need to be online right now." You know, so I get reminders. So this is a good thing. All right, let me go into my Facebook right now. I want to see if I can. All right, no, I'm not gonna look at that lady because she's doing the most right now. I'm sorry, like yeah, I'm so women that they're I got work to do. I'm not gonna look at you. Yeah, I got work to do. I can't be looking at you right now. I can't do that. All right. All right. So yeah, let me just have a look. You know what's nice? I'll tell you what's nice, right? It's nice that All right, because I'm watching the live stream right now, and it actually does an auto-generated caption for you, right? So essentially what happens is that you're talking and everything that you're saying gets posted to the screen. So you can almost keep track of what you're saying. You can map out what you're saying, right? And if you are watching it back, you get to see your habits, your tendencies, right? You get to see words that you tend to use more often. So you start picking up on your own cues, your own habits, your own tendencies, your go-tos. So this is a good way to keep yourself accountable. Really is. It's a good way to keep yourself accountable, right? So this is fun. So even if I don't have anybody in my audience, right? Even if I don't, um, I can still do what's known as a quality assessment or quality control, So, and also, they're I don't think they have enough context in terms of patois as yet. So if someone says, "Oh, you're using too much English," I'm not sure I have a choice. Yeah. If I want people to understand me on screen, if people are just watching the subtitles, I'm gonna have to go English. I'm sorry, but it's just going to have to be that. You know, yeah, it's going to have to be that. It will have to be. You know, I like how organized I'm becoming, right? Um, this is just the beginning. I'm getting better at doing it. I'm getting better at doing it, and you know, I'm being patient with myself. And I feel like I had I had an internal monologue where I contemplated what it is that I really enjoy about teaching. And really and truly, I like pulling the weakest students from their state of uncertainty, literally zero confidence, pulling them from that to a place of greater awareness. Give me a second. Yeah, as I said, um, it's good to see, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that where I taught, a lot of the students they have low literacy, low numeracy skills, and so you have to be. One of the things that I do, if there's nothing else I'm good at doing, is I build confidence in my students before I move anywhere. I build their confidence. I'll give them exercises that will make them say, "Oh, I didn't know that it was this easy to do." And you say, "Of course it was." And it wasn't that it wasn't easy. You just weren't, nobody showed you in this manner before, right? I'll give you an example. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to be about it. So let me share a screen and go to the classic whiteboard so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about, right? Now imagine this for a second. Um this is one of my favorite analogies for dealing with what I call the the integer problem, right? Yeah. So, and of course, if I want to have fun, I could always, change the color at will, right? So, why not? Yeah. So for the integer problem, one might ask, what is, oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Um, What's the integer problem? The integer problem goes as follows. Hold on. Yeah, bear with me, because sometimes these lines just, they're not doing what I want them to do, you know? They're not doing that. All right, so, all right, let me do another text box. All right. So let's say for argument's sake, I have something like, all right. What numbers do I want to use? Because I want something where it requires you to use your brain a little bit. You know, I don't want anything too easy, right? I don't want anything too easy. So, all right, I'm going to use 43 and I'm going to use 37, right? That's what I'm going to do. So let me do that. Let me reduce the size of the text box. All right. All right, so there we go. All right, these are a little bit kind of ridiculous. Like, yeah. Like, there's no hold on. Give me a second there. There we go. All right, so we have that. Yeah, cool. Yeah, and then yeah. Oh, really? Oh, come on, guys. That is nothing like what I wanted you to do. But whatever. I'm not even no, not even gonna argue with that. I'm just gonna draw it back because that was just ridiculous. Okay, that's ridiculous. All right, so yeah, I don't know where y'all got that from. There we go. Yeah, is that what I wanted? You know what? It's fine. There's a solution to this. I am going to move this thing here. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. And then I'm going to erase your new one. See? There you go. All right. So now we're gonna do that. All right. So where was I now? We're looking at the integer problem, right? Now, one of my favorite things to do, one of my favorite things to do when we're dealing with this situation, right? I had two analogies for it. And the first analogy was sort of like uh, counting, counting lines, right? So you would literally create, let's say this is the negative side. This is the positive side, right? And then there's a line separating, right? Let's say that that's what this is. And imagine now that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 30 so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on. Trucks passing again. And then finally, 1, 2, 3. Right? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah? No. Basically what you would do, right? And you have to be very skillful about how you go about doing this. But that you know that all of this is 30. You know, all right, come on, man. Sorry. All right, hold on. Let's do that. Yeah, there we go. You know that all of this is 30, right? So they both have 30. And then also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so let's do 7 as well. So this is 37. And then you circle this too. Right. Now look at that. Both of them have 37. Right? Both of them. So now we've accounted for the two 37s, right? We've accounted for them. So we have this. No. You see, it's not doing what I want it to do. There we go. We have this and we have that. So now here comes the problem. If both of us have 37, that makes us equal. What is it that, in other words, how much taller are you than me? How much more people do you have on your side? Because in other words, we both have an equal amount in the army, but now you have more people than me. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more people than me. And so because you have 6 more people than me and you're, oh, I must apologize. Yeah, let me go back to a regular pen. Let me go back to that. Yeah, so because you have 6 more people than myself, right? And you're on the, sorry, yeah. And you know what? Let me go back to classic arrow because there we go. Yeah. So we have 6 people. We have 6 more people over here than over here, right? You have 0 more people than this over here, and this person has 6 more than you over here. So because the 6 is on the negative side, then that's why beside it you put a negative sign, right? So this is one of the ways that I solve the integer problem. One of the ways. Now, mind you, this is not always feasible at all times. Not always feasible because some numbers are bigger than others. What are you going to do when you have 108 and let's say 99? If I have minus 99 plus 108, what am I going to do? I'm not going to count 108 dots, you know? So this version has its limitations. It can be done, but it's going to be tedious. It's going to be laborious if it is that you're going to go about it doing this way. But this way is it's very primary school, but it's very effective. May take you a while depending on how large the numbers are. Because if I have minus 256 plus 308, yeah, that's going to take me a while. You know? So maybe for larger numbers, we probably don't want to be doing this. Yeah? So let me just get rid of this. So since that's not what we're doing anymore, okay, what's the alternative to doing that? Okay, let's talk about the alternative. The alternative to doing this is to, all right, so let me have some fun. Let me rub out this and this. Now you imagine this for a second. You have the number 43 and 37. Which of the two numbers is a smaller number? The smaller number is 37. So now that we know that, we will focus on the number 37, right? So let's focus on it a little bit, right? This is the number we're going to use, right? This is the number we're going to use. So forgive me if I do that, right? So here we go. We have that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, no, let me redraw that one more time. All right, so we have a minus 43 and we have a there we go. Minus 43 and plus 37. There we go. Right. All right, so where am I even going with this? What am I doing? So why am I focusing on the number 37? All right, let's write it and see what happens. So I'm going to write 37 here, right? And 37 here. Okay, what's the point of me doing that? And of course, I can get rid of this line. I probably don't need that line, right? That line is a distraction. Now, what am I going to do from here? So the first step is we identify the smaller number. In terms of numerically, obviously 37 is larger than minus 43. Well, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is numerically. Is 43 smaller than 37? It's not. We use the smaller number, right? And let me tell you why. The smaller number is common to both of them. So in a way, it's almost like you're finding the HCF, but not really, if that makes sense. I have 37, you have 37, but you have some more numbers more than me outside of the number 37, right? So we're going to focus on what we both have in common. And what we both have in common is the number 37. So this is sort of a precursor to finding out about the HCF, right? Because again, we're going to write down the number 37 and we're going to write down the number 37. All right? So what am I going to do with, I don't know, this and this? What am I going to do with this sign and this one? What am I going to do with this? And again, what am I going to do with this? Right? What am I going to do with it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this sign down here and this sign down here. Right? So we're going to put minus here and plus here. That's what we're going to do. All right? So let's do that. We're going to do this, a minus here, and a plus right here. Yeah. So just to give us the context. So what do we do now? Well, just as we did before. Let me explain. Now, one of the mistakes that my students tended to make when I gave them this exercise, I'll tell you the mistake they made. They weren't paying attention to the fact that these two numbers are exactly the same, right? So what they would do is, when I told them try and find the number that exceeds, like, so for example, how much more than 37 will I take to get to 43, right? So even if we're counting, I would say, well, let's say 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Now, if we were to count that, how much would we have? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 more than 37, right? That is why when you get down here now, you're going to write what? You're going to write 6 down here. Now, here's the mistake that they made oftentimes, right? Sometimes they would take this number and put it way over here. Here's the problem with that. 37 is not bigger than 37. In other words, if I minus 37 from 37, I'll get 0. 37 minus 37 isn't 6. So you cannot place the number on the right. There is an equality over there. In other words, over there is Newton's third law of motion, which states equal and opposite forces, even though, to be fair, they have the same sign. So, but you're subtracting. So, yeah. So we could always say that you actually have 0 things greater. So if I am 37 and you're 37, we are exactly the same age, right? So if I have $37 and you have $37, I don't have more money than you. That's the essence of this. So that's why you would put nothing over here. A clever thing that I've seen some of my students do, and I give them all the credit in the world for this. Sometimes what they would do to prevent themselves from making the mistake, you know what they do? I'll tell you what they do. They go over here and then put a 0. Now, when I see them doing that, I almost give them extra marks because it's like, that's genius. Yeah, because you're saying, I am not going to make the mistake of putting anything on this side. So this side over here is going to be 0, right? So I can tell you the name of my students that did this, right? I think one of them is called, let me call him KG, even though I don't want to blow up his government name. Yeah, KG or K Good, K Good W. Him know himself, right? I think another one I've seen do this is I'm trying to remember his name right now. GM as in Gmar. Yeah. The two of them in particular, they did this. Right? So that was a clever thing for them to do. So now that we know that the number is in fact 6, right? We're going to put the number 6 over here. Now, what side is it on? Right? Just simple question. What side is it on? It is on the, it's clearly on the negative side. So because it's on the negative side, you're not going to come over here and put a positive sign beside this, right? So in other words, yeah, you're not going to come over here and do that. Yeah? In other words, in the words of gangsters, this is what you call set tripping. Yeah, you can't be doing that. Like it's like the I don't want to say the good old days, but the bad old days of yeah, like don't go over in a JLP territory and wear orange. Don't do that. You understand? And don't go over in a PNP territory and wear green. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. You understand? So therefore, if you're on the negative side, you need to have a negative sign, right? Yeah. So just bear this in mind. Let me put a, yeah. This is what you call a giant wrong bound, right? Yeah. Giant wrong bound. Cool. That way you know not to do this, right? Do not do this. Right? Okay. So what is correct? What is correct is that. Yeah. So we went from a giant wrong bang to a giant right. Yeah. Now we are what? Yeah. We're correct. Yeah. And again, some of my students complain, say, sir, you make your ticket them so big. Beggars cannot be choosers. You can't please everybody. You know. Yeah, so that is how you'd solve your integer problem, and it applies on either side. So if the larger number is positive, your sign is going to end up being positive, right? So you're always going to focus on the smaller number, right? So we could flip this situation around. We could do that, right? What if we had the number instead? Let's say, fine. Let's use a different number. Let's use the number. All right. Let me use the number. I want to use like maybe 49, right? Let me use the number 49. All right, let me move that a little bit out of the way. There we go. So we'll have 49, and let's try the number. Ah, um, let's say 73, right? I like to use these numbers because, of course, sometimes when you're subtracting, sometimes people make the mistake. But you know what? Let me not use 73. Why not use 85? I don't know. Right? So now we have a different dilemma, right? We have a different, whoops. Uh, Let me try that again. I think my text box was a little bit too large, right? For the for the fighting game people, you would call that a hurt box. Anyhow, so here we are. What's the smaller number of the two? Which one is it? It's going to be 49, right? So let's just put the 49 down. Let's put the 49 here and the 49, oops, 49 here, right? So I'm going to make an adjustment to this. All right, so let's do that. Pull that in. Let's do that and pull that in. All right. There we go. Good. So okay. So let me start it from scratch. So basically, you would start out with the minus 49 plus 85. The smaller number is 49. 49 is smaller than 85. You write down two of your 49s. Then what you're going to do from here is do what? You're going to drop this sign down here and that sign down here, right? So don't forget to do that. So this will be copied here and this will be copied here, right? Don't forget that. Yeah? So just making that abundantly clear, right? Wait. Okay, so we have this. Now we will put that here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So yeah, download. Oh yeah, you couldn't see that. I was actually doing a screenshot. All right. So where am I now? So now you notice that they're equal on the negative side, right? They're equal on the negative side, right? So this minus 49 is equal to this minus 49, and therefore there's no amount that is greater. When I have 49 and you have 49, we have the same amount of money. Therefore, none of me no better than you then, right? Nobody's better than anybody over here, right? So there's zero on that side. Yeah? Well, what about over here? What we're going to do with this? Well, we're going to have to subtract what? 49 from 85, or let's have fun with this. Now, there's one thing you know about the number 49. That if you add one to it, right? If you add one to 49, you're going to end up with 50. Ah, I could make some jokes, but I'll leave that alone. Right? So if you add 1 to 49, you get 50. Now, how much more would you need to add to the 50 in order to get 85? Well, I'm fairly confident that that amount is going to be what? That amount is going to be 35, right? So therefore, how about this? If I add 1 to 35, I'll get 36, right? If I add 1 to that 35, I will get 36. Therefore, 36 is what I should be placing where? Over here. Yeah, so let's just do that then. Let me do that. Let me do that. Let me write the 36 right here then. All right, no, let me do it in blue since that's the case. 36. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that equal sign look tedious. Yeah, sometimes I get lazy. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. So here we are. Here we are. So now that we're here, it's pretty obvious what sign we need to be using, right? We're not on the negative side. So if we're not on the negative side, what are we? We are going to be, yeah, because we're on team positive, yeah? We're on, all right, hold on. I wanted to move that. So let me, there we go. Okay, I have no idea what just happened a while ago. Yeah, that was weird. That was, yeah, I'm not even going to try and figure out what that was. That was weird. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Why? Yeah, move. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. Yeah. So there we have it, right? So now we have plus 36. So that's our answer there. Yeah. So that's solving the integer problem, right? So these are the kind of exercises I would use to build the confidence of any student that feels lost dealing with integers. And this will be helpful when you're going into algebra because let's face it, even if the letters were beside the numbers, it wouldn't change anything. In other words, if this was 85x and this was 49x, this would be 36x, right? Even if this, obviously, I would have to have x beside these as well. The reason why you need the x beside these is because you cannot subtract 49 from 85x. You can subtract 49 from 85, but not from 85x, because that's what you call unlike terms. So me leaving it like this is incorrect. I need to have x's beside these 49s right here. Yeah. So that way everything is, yeah. So that's what I would, yeah. So this is an example of how this would work and how it would extend into the algebra, right? Oh, well. Oh, sure, sure. Look at that. All right. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. You remember what it looked like before. You remember. I'm sure you remember, right? This was 49. Yeah, that was 49. This was 49 as well. All right, so 49 and 49. There we go. Yeah, And of course, the number that I had here was, well, really? Yeah. So it looks like we just passed our 9 o'clock mark, right? We just passed our 9 o'clock. So we did good today. We did good. We did good. Um, yeah. So this is about the time where I can pretty much wrap up everything, right? Let's wrap up. Yeah. Why not? Uniformity, uniformity. There we go. So just like that, integer problem solved. So again, thanks for watching. And who knows? Maybe I'll do the next live on YouTube. And then if you miss the YouTube live, I'll just copy it and drop it on the page. So again, thanks for helping me to stay consistent. And as I always tell you, honor your commitments.